Hi, I'm Andrea. I chose Jean-Michel Basquiat as my artist. He was a Puerto Rican Haitian American um, living in New York City in the 80s, and he was a pioneering figure in the world of contemporary art whose work broke through the boundaries of traditional art forms and explored themes of identity, race, and politics. Through his work, he challenged conventional narratives and advocated for the recognition and empowerment of marginalized communities. Um, he drew inspiration from his upbringing and heritage. As a young black man living in New York City in the 80s, he turned to his art to criticize the histories of colonialism and racism pertaining to African Americans. This was one of the main reasons I chose him. I thought that that kind of speaks as a testament to his popularity and why his legacy will never die out, is because he created such a unique and big space for minorities, especially minorities in the art community, that maybe felt like nobody cared about their art. They feel like they didn't have a voice, they didn't have, or that they just didn't have the space to be loud and proud about their art and just themselves in general. Because also he didn't just represent like minorities and all of that in his art. He just represented the human experience, like your most inner self, and just the nasty, messy, emotional experience it is to just be human. And I feel like you can really see that in his art, because his art is very like messy. It's almost like childlike, the way that he expresses himself on the page. And you can really tell that he probably doesn't really have like an art, like he doesn't put too much thought into what he's doing. He puts all of his emotional and personal experiences and feeling into his art. And I love that you can see that rawness in his artwork. In every piece that he does, like there's not one piece that I can't think of that doesn't seem like it's just like, it's almost like he's closing his eyes and like drawing and painting whatever he's doing, but obviously he's not doing that. But yeah, that's just how raw it seems, and how you can just feel that through just by looking at his art. So I thought that that was very important to mention. And a lot of people don't know this, but he initially started his art in the streets, just doing street art, and he went by a different name. He went by Samo. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's spelled Samo. So I thought that was really interesting. I feel like a lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that before I researched him. So yeah, that was cool. And going back to how messy I feel like his art is, he uses a lot of mixed media. So he'll use like in one piece, maybe like he'll like use maybe like colored pencils or acrylic art, acrylic paint, oil paint, spray paint. I'm sure he uses a bunch of other stuff, but I'm not sure. That's just what I found out. Um, yeah, he would use a lot of symbolism in his art as well, like skulls, maybe like a brain, or like self portraits of himself. He would put a lot of words and stuff like that, just a lot of figures and symbolism to portray what he's trying to portray. Um, and I also found out that he doesn't do a lot of interviews. Um, I think he kept to himself a lot. He maybe didn't like publicity in that way. Maybe he felt a certain way about media and the way that media is in America, and just like all of that, just society and stuff. But I did find this one interview, and I found a quote from it that I thought was really beautiful and really spoke to just really spoke to his art process. So I'm going to read it right now. He said, "I don't think about art while I work," he told writer Isabel Graw in 1986. He said, "I try to think about life." And I thought this was a beautiful testament to his art process, because, like I said earlier, you can really see that he maybe has like an idea in his head of what he wants or maybe a feeling that he wants to get out, but he's not really thinking, he's just doing. And I think that that's important. I think art in general, um like, I don't know how to say it, but it's just good to be in the moment. I feel like art in general, like, gives us that space to do that, just to be present in the moment and just work through your feelings and not to think so hard about things, because when we think hard about things, that's when we let fear in. So I feel like that's what he was trying to do, or not even trying to do in his heart. That's just what he did, and that's what I got from it. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna show my art now. Like he does, I tried to use a lot of mixed media. So I used acrylic paint, permanent marker for these details. I used colored pencil and gel pen for the crown. And just to add some gold detailing, I added the gel pen. I think those are all the medias that I used, but I added this crown symbol because just to represent Basquiat, and he used this symbol a lot. And then the face is meant to portray me, because he would do a lot of self-portraits in his art and stuff like that. And then he would add a lot of words, so I added words in the background and just like tried to emulate like his colorful backgrounds that he would do a lot, and on top of that, the darker, detailed things. Just I wanted to add the contrast that he puts in his art into my piece as well. Yeah, and a lot of his stuff, he will have like super bright colors in the background, or for the majority of the piece, he'll add those colors. And then on top of it, if he's like doing a self-portrait or trying to depict something, he'll use like a black or a dark brown to represent himself or something else. Yeah, so I noticed that too, so that's what I was trying to do. And then the crown, he puts that in a lot of his art, and a lot of people think that the crown is a symbol of his great ambition, or it's used to depict himself as a king, or just somebody of importance, or some people also think that it acknowledged the brilliance of other artists that influenced him. So yeah, I think that also adds to him just creating a space, and a loud space for minorities and like African Americans to be themselves unapologetically and show their art, and or show whatever they wanted to show without fear. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I can't wait to see everybody else's pieces, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their term. That's it. Bye.